Hello. Grand rising. I guess it's not really morning anymore. Where has my day gone? Oh my goodness. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. Today, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about something that I really think will help you understand the amount of power and love and support available to you at all times. Something that I think that we can forget, especially when things are hard, especially when things aren't maybe going the way we want. We forget how much power and support and love that we have out there. So if you're joining me, let's just start by taking some deep breaths together. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And let's just get really centered, really present. I always like to, as a practice, get really open by number one, connecting deep into the ground, into the earth mother, into that really powerful, yummy, structured, nurturing energy. And then I bring that energy up to my power center, my solar plexus, and I plug into the cosmos while still plugged into the earth. And I bring that down. And I connect to my divinity, my support, all of my senses, all of my powers, all of my knowing, and I bring that down into my solar plexus. And when they combine, they create that beautiful influx of energy. And as those two energies combine, right, they spread, they open our heart, they ground us in even deeper, they nurture us, they allow us to move from our soul essence, our higher knowing. It's a really great way to start practices. So just as you listen today, just allow yourself to set the intention to receive whatever is meant for you as we move through this teaching, as we move through this knowing, this learning, this remembering together. So a couple of things have come up as I've sat with what to share this week, what to deepen into this practice. And if you've been watching these for a while, you know that they're steadily growing on each other. Today, I want to give you the tools, the keys to be able to shift your life into the trajectory you desire, to be able to discern, become aware of, collect all of the data and all the things going on outside of you or externally. And as you take in that data, as you collect it all, making conscious choices to reset and tune in to all the things that are meant for you. So I want to start first by an example from Mike Dooley that I read in a book like a decade ago. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll find it and I'll link it in the comments. But he gave this example, and I want you to listen to this example, and then I'll explain why it's so important. He talked about the example of if any human on earth throws a ball up into the air, the law of gravity will always ensure that that ball comes back down. It doesn't matter if the thrower understands the laws of gravity, it's still going to come back down. It doesn't matter if the thrower feels worthy. It doesn't matter if the thrower follows a certain set of rules. If the thrower throws the ball up in the air, regardless of beliefs, ideals, levels of shame, levels of worthiness, levels of intellect, levels of wealth, levels of success, none of that matters. If they throw the ball up in the air, the law of gravity says it will come down. You don't have to know the law of gravity. You don't have to understand any of it. It will simply come back down. All universal laws work that way. And one thing that I know for sure is that the universe is constantly conspiring to give us our best, to allow us to have it all, right? Now, there's different ways we filter that, which I'll talk about in a minute. But in the end and in the always, if you throw something out into the universe it's going to come back down to you. If you think thoughts out into the universe, it doesn't matter your worthiness levels. It doesn't matter the amount of money in your bank account. It doesn't matter if you understand the laws of the universe. None of that matters. What matters is what you throw out into the universe is what is returned to you in some way, shape, or form. Now, the cool thing is, and I've talked about this before, but we're going to go over different concepts of it today, is you always have all of the data to see what you are throwing out into the universe. As you look around you and view your external world, you are seeing the detailed results of your conscious thoughts and subconscious thoughts, because it doesn't matter if we're consciously thinking them or subconsciously thinking them. If we throw it up in the air, it's going to come back down. So just like your social media for you pages, right? I always say this, I say, if you have a friendship, a partnership, or whatever, you can learn everything you need to know by scrolling through their For You page for 5 minutes. Because that's how social media works. You can get on, let's just say TikTok, for example. You can get on TikTok and you can use it to every time you tune in to TikTok, you can see things about wealth, finance, spirituality, things that are going to help you grow, things that are going to help you bloom, things that make you smile. Or you can see things like, and I just had this conversation with my son a couple of weeks ago, and I think I already shared this story with you guys, but I'll share it again. He was going through a really dark time, and he talked about how every time he got on social media, he saw these reminders. And so I had him delete every app off of his phone. And I said, especially with the YouTube shorts and TikTok, as you scroll through them, only like and watch things that make you feel good inside. Because what that's going to do is it's going to tell all of these platforms, right, that you are interested in that you want more of that catches your attention. And so if there's all of this maybe not so great stuff happening in your external world, I want you to ask yourself how much attention you're giving it. And I don't mean intentionally processing and moving through it, but I mean, how much are you focused on that energy that you don't want? If somebody made you angry, how much are you sitting there thinking about the anger? There's a difference between intentionally saying, I see this is triggering me. I see this is creating anger within me, and I'm going to find out why by sitting with it, honoring it, alchemizing it, moving forward. That is not investing energy into more of what you don't want. That is investing energy into alchemizing things as they come up in human existence, because sometimes hard things just happen. But there is a difference when you are constantly thinking and investing energy into that specific scenario or vibration. In the terms of venting, I don't think any of us should just call and vent about things over and over. I think there is a time and a place for processing and letting your voice be heard, but that is very different than venting or bitching or complaining. When you focus that amount of energy, especially verbally, on something, you create more of it. I don't think there's ever a time when we need to sit and ruminate in all of the terrible things that have happened to us. That doesn't serve anybody. There are very structured, intentional, conscious tools and practices that you can use when hard things are happening, when hard memories or traumas are coming up, that allow you to honor them, move through them, clear them out of your system, and adopt new mindsets and physical responses. That does not require you investing and ruminating in all of that energy. It's the same thing I did with every negative experience I had in my life. And I shared this with you guys last week. I could have sat there and ruminated in it and asked, why me and why is this happening? Or I could have sat with it all, which is what I did. And I could learn from it and grow for it and understand with deep knowing and faith that life is happening for me, and focus on the things that I want to create and that I want to happen. Just this weekend, as I was moving through a harder situation and a harder energy, I allowed myself to feel all of the feelings. I allowed myself to do that deep inner work, to think with it, to think about it, to look at all of the data, to be able to look at the ways that I helped create this situation, the things that I learned from this situation, I was able to alchemize it. And the whole time, instead of thinking in that negative mindset of why did this happen, instead I let it empower me. I said, how can I grow from this? How can I get better from this, right? I was still able to honor my pain and feel into my grief and still simultaneously ask, what is this teaching me? If I have that deep faith that life is happening for me, what am I learning here? And I was able from there to shift into a deep state of gratitude for all that I was moving through and all that that was allowing me to move into. I am training my own human algorithm to respond and invest attention and energy onto more of what I want, more of what I desire, to create perceptions of this world that are in alignment with the deepest desires and longings and knowings of my soul, of my truth, of my divinity. What I invest in, what I pay attention to energetically, financially, mentally, emotionally, I am telling the universe I want more of that. What I focus my thoughts on, what I focus my feelings on, what I focus my desires on, I am asking for more of. I can be in pain and still move forward with my desires in mind, just like I did this weekend. When a situation didn't work out the way that I wanted and desired it to, I still had faith in knowing that the universe was happening, that this was happening for me, that the universe had my back. And so as I felt the grief, as I went into the shame, as I went into the disappointment, as I went into the hurt, I was doing it with the intention, the focus on creating a better outcome. Meaning I was saying, if I see there's this area in my life where I'm not quite ready to welcome in all that I desired, because this is still teaching me something, right? Then what I can do is take this information, take this emotion, focus on what I do desire, and bring all of this energy, because even grief, even anger, even all of those harder emotions are energy, just like love, just like bliss, just like joy. I can bring them inside of me and I can alchemize them and transmute them into more of what I desire. I could see the silver lining in it. I could see the things I learned about myself, about what I desire, about what I need. It all became a beautiful opportunity to learn and grow deeper into my love for myself and love for the universe and love for others. But that takes me desiring and being very clear about who I am and what I want to create, and also what I'm worth. Because if I didn't understand, and remember, we're all worthy right now. There's nothing you have to do to create these miracles. Anybody who throws these balls of intention up, it's going to come back down into your life. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to do anything about it other than know you're able and worthy to receive it, which you are. If you are breathing air right now, you are worthy of it all. It's about knowing at a conscious level that you're worthy. There's a difference between knowing you're worthy and being worthy, right? We're all worthy innately. Me, you, the guy down the street. But when you know you're worthy, you open yourself up to all of the things you desire, because when you know you're worthy and bad or hard things happen in your life, you don't immediately go to, I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I'm undeserving, this is happening because I'm bad. Instead, you go to, because I know how worthy I am, because I'm innately worthy, because I'm innately divine, because I'm innately good, because we all are. Because I know these things, I also know the universe is positioning me and protecting me in this moment. And because I trust myself and I trust the universe, I can be open to this experience, knowing that something better, something bigger, something greater is moving into my life. And I can use this as an opportunity to grow, to evolve, to deepen into love, to stretch deeper into myself and my tools and my discipline and my knowing. You are all so worthy right now. But we have to open up to that, and we have to start investing energy in there so that our own algorithm of life will reflect back to us all of those thoughts, all of those beliefs, all of those desires. And we do that by where we are carefully cultivating and intentionally investing our energy. Look around you right now, and I want you to see with your eyes 3 things that you are grateful for, that you can say that you consciously created, whether it's being able to breathe air, or maybe something in your physical environment. Like for me, I'm so grateful for this water bottle with a straw, because I know that I need to hydrate more. And I also know that with the straw, it's easier for me. And I know that this tool allows me to show up for myself in love. What's one thing that you can sense, that you can smell, that you can physically touch, that you are grateful for? Investing more and paying more attention to the things you do have, even when maybe all of your circumstances aren't the way that you want them, is what's going to propel you into the next best chapter of your life. And it does keep getting better and better and better if you allow it. What we focus our attention on is what we create in our futures. That's why being present is so important, because if you're present, you're very conscious to what's coming through you and what's being created for you. But if you're focused on the path, you can't think new thoughts. You're only regurgitating all of your past information and ideas. So if you're stuck in one of those negative algorithms, if every time you get on your For You page, it's showing you harsh breakups and situations of suffering and violence and crime, then we have to come back to what we want to focus on and be able to alchemize that energy into more of what we do desire. Sometimes it takes, like I did with my son, on our phones, we can delete the apps, delete the data, create a new account, and focus more on what we want to see in our real life. We can reset, we can detox everything, unplug from everything, take some time within ourselves and in our silence, within our knowing. We can wipe away all of the ways of the past, the old ideals, the old belief systems, the old thoughts about ourselves and the universe. And we can reset and start fresh and start to invest in the things that do bring us joy, that do create grace and compassion and love and more of what we want. You, and only you, by tapping into that universal support and consciously and intentionally choosing your energetic, emotional, mental, physical investments, create your own For You page, your real life projection of reality. You have all the power to shift it at the drop of a dime if you desire. But it does take you being willing to do so and being intentional about it. So drop a comment, give me some feedback, let me know how this all feels, and maybe one thing that you're intentionally going to start investing your energy into today so that you can start seeing a change. And the reason I say leave a comment is because then if you drop the comment and you see yourself every day investing into that, then you can come back here in a day, in a week, in a month, and you can say, this is what I desired. Did I truly invest and direct my energy into it? And if I did, can I see this in my real life? You don't have to take my word for any of this. That's the coolest thing about this. You are all capable right here and right now of doing everything I just said, but you have to actually do it. You have to actually invest in it. Believe in this change. Believe in the tools I just shared. Believe in the possibility. What else do you have to lose? What do you have to lose if you've tried all of the things and you're still not seeing exactly what you want? What do you have to lose by choosing to intentionally invest your energy in more of the things you desire? let me know. I'm excited to see how this works. When I come back next week, we can gather some statistics, see how everything went for everybody, share our results. It's going to be really fun. And I do have a group that I keep everybody accountable for. It's on Substack. I'll drop the link in the comments below. But you can join my Substack community, and every day you'll be reminded of a conscious practice, of a meditation, and of honing in on what you're going to intentionally invest your energy into. So join me there. Join me again here next week, and let's create some really amazing magic together. I'm proud of you guys. I'll see you next week, and thank you for being here today. I truly appreciate your energy and essence. As always, breathe deep and plan on miracles. Bye.